These are my top 5 favorite horror movies right now. And before I start, I would like to say that if you enjoy my content and you want to see more, please feel free to subscribe. And if you comment video suggestions and stuff, I'll consider them. Like, I don't do every suggestion, but the ones that I find interesting, I'll probably end up doing. So, if you have an interesting idea, consider commenting it. And as an honorable mention, I have Saw 2, probably my favorite Saw movie that I've seen so far, and it's the best because we get to spend a lot of time with Jigsaw. Like, this might be the movie we spend the most time with Jigsaw with, and we get to learn a lot of his backstory and his motive, like, why is he setting up these traps? Why is he doing the things he's doing? Like, what's the point? We get to learn all that in this movie, and you actually end up kind of liking Jigsaw after this movie. Like, you actually kind of root for Jigsaw. I don't know what it is about him, but he's somewhat likable. I don't know if that's the word for it, but Jigsaw is just cool. And Donnie Wahlberg's in this movie. He plays a crooked cop, and he does that role really well. So, but the traps in this movie are great. The music in this movie is actually really great too. Like, Saw 2 has some really good music in it, and the main setting where the traps are taking place, they made it look really nice, like creepy and stuff. And every person that was in the trap, they casted them really well. Like, it felt real almost, which is great. Honorable mention, I have Jaws. Jaws is one of the most famous movies of all time. It's one of the best movies, and what makes it so great, first of all, the music in this movie, it's so recognizable, it's iconic. Almost anyone could recognize the Jaws music. And if you saw this movie as a kid, you were probably scared of swimming after seeing this movie. It had a great effect after watching it, and great lines. Like, there's so many quotable lines from this movie as well. And the shark in this movie, um, we only see it in a few scenes. Like, we don't see it very often, but when it does show up, it's awesome. You know it's gonna do something bad. And but yeah, also the characters like Chief Brody, he does a really good job in this movie. He's a likable character, and everybody else, just almost everything about this movie is good. Number 5, I have It from 2017. Um, It is an amazing movie. Pennywise is such a creepy villain. It's it's great to watch. Like, you're always excited to see what Pennywise does next. And he has a lot of creepy kills and moments. But other than Pennywise, the setting in this movie is really interesting. Like, they did a really great job. And the Losers Club, the kids in it, they actually did a really great job. Like, with kid actors, like, it's 50-50 if it's gonna be a good or not. But every kid actor in this movie did a great job. I was really surprised. And yeah, it is it's a really good movie. I recommend it to anybody. The Nightmare on Elm Street, one of the first rated R horror movies I ever saw, and I was instantly a fan. This movie's iconic, from 1984, and Freddy Krueger is such a recognizable villain, and it's for a good reason. His makeup is so great, and his outfit, it's iconic. And the casting was perfect. I feel like no one else could have played Freddy Krueger as well as the actor did. And he's like creepy and scary, but he can also be funny in a creepy way, you know? But also, the music for this movie is really great. Like, I feel like the Nightmare on Elm Street orchestration is very underrated. Like, everyone says, like, oh, Halloween is like the best, but Nightmare on Elm Street has really good music too. And Wes Craven, the director, did a really great job. The whole idea is Freddy Krueger goes into your dreams and kills you in your dream, and then you're dead in real life. It's really creative, and The movie was uh, mainly shot on just Elm Street, obviously. And when movies are mainly shot in one place, it's usually not good. But in this case, it's a really good movie. Wes Craven and maybe James Wan could have been the only people that could have done this movie this well. I'm a fan. Three, I have Insidious. I was really surprised on how much I liked this movie. Going into it, I was like, it's a PG-13 movie. Uh, it's probably not going to be that scary, all that kind of stuff. But I underestimated James Wan. He did a really good job with this movie. This is one of the scariest horror movies I've seen, and it's PG-13, so it's really good. They did a great job with the casting, like Patrick Wilson. He's great in any movie. And they executed jump scares very well in this movie. Like, jump scares got you a couple times in this one. And the whole idea was great as well. Um, yeah, everybody in this movie was likable. Like, there really wasn't one character that I was like, I don't like them. Like, I liked everybody. It was really good. Number two, I have Scream. Scream is one of the greatest horror movies of all time, and it is for a reason. Like, the opening scene to Scream is iconic. Like, you couldn't have had a better opening scene to a horror movie. And it's great because you thought that the girl at the start was going to be the main character, but she gets killed off first. It's so it opens the door like, oh, anybody could be killed in this movie. That's really great about it. And you don't know who Ghostface is. It's like it could be anybody. It could be multiple people, one person. It could be someone you know. It could be someone you don't know. And it's really great trying to figure out who Ghostface is with Sidney Prescott, who's the main character. And Sidney Prescott's a great main character. She's one of my favorite horror movie characters ever. They did a really great job with her character. Like, she doesn't make any bad decisions. Like, she's actually smart in this movie. Scream's just awesome. Number one, I have The Conjuring 2, my favorite horror movie of all time at the moment. And it is my favorite because of Ed and Lorraine are at their best in this movie. And this movie's probably the creepiest slash scariest in the Conjuring universe so far. And James Wan directed this, and he did a great job of jump scares, just like Insidious. The jump scares worked, and well, you know how you get excited to see like the nighttime scares in horror movies. Well, the daytime stuff was equally as exciting as the nighttime stuff. Like, there was never a boring moment in The Conjuring 2. I was engaged the whole way through, and the Crooked Man and Valak are two of the most interesting and probably the strongest antagonist in the Conjuring universe so far, in my opinion. They're both so great. You want to see more of them. And we did get to see more of Alec in The Nun, but too bad The Nun wasn't a good movie, so. But yeah, and the Conjuring 2 family that they're trying to help. They're a good family, like they're protective over each other. You want Ed and Lorraine to help their family. I have nothing bad to say about this movie. Everything was done perfectly. And I was also thinking, like, if we got, like, a Netflix miniseries or something of Ed and Lorraine, like, uh, solving paranormal cases, like, that would be great. That would be a great miniseries if it was done by James Wan. As we can see, in the Conjuring universe, the movies by James Wan are the best, so hopefully, if they did do a mini series, James Wan would be the one doing it.